Guys, welcome back to the garage. My name is Dave. This is Dick's 4x4 Garage, and today we're going to be getting into some sound deadening stuff with Project Goldie here. So, show you what we got going down here, and then we will get into laying some of this stuff down. So, first thing we got here, this is Noico. So I did some research, read a bunch of reviews, looked around, trying to find some stuff that was a, kind of a decent price, not the cheapest. I didn't want to go crazy expensive, so I found this stuff. Good reviews on Amazon. This is Noico. It is an 80 mil. There's 36 square feet in here. Weighed about 30 pounds, 28 pounds, somewhere around there. So this is what it comes. It comes with 9 of these sheets right here. I have 1 sheet left. And this is what you get. Alright. Very, very nice to work with. Good stuff. And when you roll it down, you see everything start to flatten out. And it worked out well. Now, so this is basically the bottom layer, goes right to the metal, and then on top of that it suggests to run this, and now this is the closed cell foam. It's 170 mil. It is also a Noico product, and it has a nice sticky back to it. So these are the products we're going to be using today. Now the foam is very light, but it's nice. So it's thermal as well as a noise barrier, so that's the stuff there. It's 36 square feet as well. In addition to this stuff, what I really use to lay all this stuff down is the roller. So I got this on Amazon as well. Nice heavy roller, worked really good. I would definitely suggest this. Make sure you get some mechanics gloves, something that's going to slide easily on the material. Just bought a new set. It worked well. So some of the spots you can't really get there, or maybe this is a little too big for something, you can just use your finger or whatnot. Got some of this ducting type metallized tape, and I use this mainly to put the Reflectix insulation over the top, and I'll show you that here in a second. That's what I've used for my main heat insulation. It works really well. So let me go grab a piece of that and show you. As well, I use these Fisker scissors. They're like a serrated type, good for carpeting, stuff like that. Cut through this stuff really super easy. Alright, so this is the Reflectix material. This is the only thing that I had in the truck. I had this down with some carpet over it. It is bubble wrap. It's super inexpensive. You can get this down at Lowe's, Home Depot. We have it at my work. I think I bought it from there. And really good as far as the heat. So as far as thermally, this stuff works for the price. It works exceptionally well. So you could tell, if you had a truck like my old K5, the floor would get super hot. I had a bare floor, so then I put this down, and it was night and day as far as the the insulation abilities of this. However, it doesn't really do much for noise. I would imagine it does block some noise, but not really much. So that's why we're going to get into doing this stuff. So stick around and let's get into it. Let me get a cleaning in here. We'll get in here. I'll kind of talk about my plan, and we'll lay some stuff down and see how it comes out. Alright, so I got my first piece here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just position it in place, see where I want it, and then once we get it good, then I'll peel it and stick it. Alright, let's give this a shot here. We'll see how it comes. So I don't know if I should peel it and just lay it all at once. Maybe I should just do that. Or if I should pull the paper like here and then slowly start pulling it up. Maybe I'll do that. One way to figure out how to use it is to it out. I think that's kind of where I want it. Yep. There we go. Yeah, this looks like that's gonna lay down pretty good. Might be a little tricky up here. I think I might cut the edge off of this. I need my scissors. I don't want it to be a big pain in the ass later, so I'll go ahead and get rid of this little section. Maybe we'll use that for something else. So let's see how that's laying down. Alright, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we'll peel it. This stuff actually is pretty heavy, like just that 36 square feet. I think it said it weighed like 30 pounds, but I was like, it's kind of crazy when I felt the box, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's see here. Yeah, all right. Yeah, actually laying down pretty good. So let's do as much as I can by hand, and then we'll roll her out. Business here. Let's make sure I get the edges. Make sure I get the edges real good. Don't have any issues with the edges. Peel them up. Do a tap here. Maybe a difference, right? Pretty much got all this, so the 36 square feet of this, the 36 square feet of the foam, the roller, speaker. I got it. It's all under 200 bucks, so it was pretty inexpensive stuff. As far as this stuff goes, it's pretty damn easy to work with. So, you know, it's one of those things. You don't got to be perfect with it because it's going to be under the carpet, and as long as you cover, you know, most of the panel or some of it. They say now you can just use some of it on a panel and it'll still deaden it, but my thinking kind of is more insulation the better. I mean, obviously, maybe you only need a little bit to block the sound coming from the whole area, but at the same time it's still adding extra insulation, which is what I want. So extra insulation, as much as I can put down, the better. So hopefully, I think it'll probably go right over this. It's just some seam sealer I welded underneath here to this plate. So let's get going. Alright guys, here we go. So pretty much did the whole truck. I've got one sheet left. The inside of the truck, it's sounding pretty firm. So now I'm getting ready to lay this stuff on it. So this stuff, it says that, like, I think it says like this stuff is like, as far as sound deadening, something like, you know, 40%, and this is 60. Like, I don't know. I don't know how much difference it's going to make, but, you know, I mean, it's decently thick foam. So I'm going to start laying this down, and then we'll do a knock test here. So you feel that, you see that, how it's still. So I'm going to do this area, do right here, probably do here, because you know you got all the engine and stuff going on there. And then maybe this back wall, because it still feels a little, like down here is pretty solid, but I'll do some on the back wall. And just kind of everywhere where I think, but just kind of get the main area. So I'm going to keep going, see what happens. So I like how this stuff's coming along. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not super perfect and it doesn't cover everything, but just, you know, like I said, it's going to be covered up, but it's just like, you can definitely tell. So like right here, you hear the window shaking a little bit, but then you tap here. Yeah, it's making a pretty good difference, so I'm just going to keep running just straight along the back wall and then figure out where I'm going to go from there. Pretty much did the back wall, did down here, did back here with some of that. I think it helped. Might put a little foam back there actually. Did the other side, and yeah, I think it's going to make a pretty big difference as most all this is covered. I might put a little strip right here. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the doors. And then I'm thinking about, I've got one more piece of this here. I'm thinking about cutting it in half, doing like one here and one over there. So I think, you know, there's like, it's going to be a bummer because I like my stickers and stuff up there, and I was going to like do a sticker collage, but maybe I'll just go over it with stickers or something. But anyways, I'd rather have some insulation up here, I think. And you can just hear how like hollow it sounds. Like maybe it might be a better place to like put a strip here and then a couple small ones over here just to kind of deaden it out a little bit, but we'll figure it out. One more thing I'm going to do first is I'm going to poke my holes for like the seat belts and the seats, and then kind of cut around them. That way it'll bolt down easier, because the carpet, you know, makes it kind of thick, so I don't want to, you know, impede it in any way. So I'll poke a hole and then I'll kind of cut around it a little bit. So I'll get all my holes done, and then we'll do the reflective. So let's try that. I'm rolling through downtown here. It's normally like a very bumpy part of the freeway. I'm noticing that as far as like when I hit bumps and stuff, like it feels just so much more solid in here. Like, you know, like right now, like normally like you'd hear like kind of clinking and clanking around, but it's just so much more solid. And yeah, I don't know. I think it made a pretty good difference. At first I wasn't quite sold, but after like driving it for a minute, I could definitely tell like it's kind of tricking my brain, because it, you know, it just feels more solid. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so we're gonna do the road test now. So this is gonna be the exact same drive as we took. So last week I did a little video. I didn't publish it yet, but driving the truck, doing some stuff. So this is, I'm going to compare it, exact same drive, exact same driving characteristics, all that, so you get to see a before and after. right, so I'm going to break it down to you and give you my honest opinion on this stuff, honest opinion of the job. So I did the whole cab. I did all the way up till the bend of the actual firewall because it already had it still had the factory stuff on it. I went up the back wall, kind of went up in the cubbies a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you, when I first got in it and drove it the next day, I didn't hear a big difference. It wasn't night and day, but it did take the edge off. So especially, you know, when you're running 70 with no overdrive, you know, if you can take the edge off just a little bit, you know, I think, you know, every little bit that you do is going to be better. So next up, I'm going to do the doors, and I'm going to do the roof, or the roof of the cab, and then we'll do another test drive, and we'll compare the differences before and after with that. So like I said, night and day, no. Did it make a difference? Yes. It took the edge off, and in addition to that, the main thing that I noticed is that it took a lot of the heat out of the cab. So like it's been like between $1.05 and $1.10 here, and I did notice the other day when I drove it to work, went to lunch, and I didn't have to crank the AC as hard. It took a lot of the heat out of the cab. So I think with that closed cell foam, it does a really good job of actually insulating things, and which is the reason why I mainly want to do the roof. So I'll put a panel of the 80 mil down, and then I'll do the foam over top, and I think that that's going to do a lot for heat, and I think it's probably going to do a lot for sound as well. So, you know, everything in these trucks is wide open, you know, like you don't have pillar covers and the whole, you know, like all the new cars have that. So like me trying to compare this to my, you know, 16 Suburban is you know, it's not even a fair comparison, because, you know, there's so much exposed, there's so much old stuff. I do notice I'm hearing the windows a little bit more, hearing more air noise and stuff like that. So I'm imagining that it did, you know, with taking that edge off, taking it down, that you know, now I got to start focusing on some other noises that are not like actually engine related, but just kind of old car related, if you will. As far as the use, or like how easy it was to work with, very easy. Everything peeled off. I did the whole job with my mechanics gloves on, so you know, sometimes when you're peeling with that, but there's a little bit of extra tape on the back of the paper you can grab easy and peel off. Even when I would cut it down, I could get it off fairly easy. A couple times I'd use my scissors just to get it started, but that was it. No smell. There was no smell when I was applying it, and there hasn't been any smell in the truck. And like I said, it's been between 105, 110, sat outside all day yesterday at my work. When I hopped in for lunch and I hopped in to go home, no smell. So that is, I guess, a plus with this material. I've never used other material, so I can't really tell you, but I think it works well. I added those two speakers in the door panel, or the kick panel, and you know, I don't have to crank it as high, the volume, which is probably, you know, one, because I added more speakers, and then two, because, you know, it did quiet it down. The main difference, like I said, the one thing that I noticed the most, and especially like when I drive through downtown Vegas, really bumpy, a lot of, you know, just kind of throws the truck around the way that the freeway's built. It's kind of all concrete, and it's kind of shitty, but yeah, everything did feel more firm. It felt more kind of together. Things are like more of like dull thuds instead of like, you know, the tin can cab, I guess, you know. So that's it. I guess that's where I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully it'll give you, you know, some kind of information. So if you want to use this stuff, like, at least you'll have like kind of an honest review of it. It was easy to work with. I think it made a difference. Not, like I said, not night and day, but hell, it took the edge off. And so when I'm towing down the highway at 70, you know, I won't have a noise hangover. So anyways, appreciate you guys rolling with me. You guys take it easy. Until the next one, see ya.